Good morning. This is Game Dill, and I am doing a video on the UI for Fishing Planet and how to maybe some of the basic controls and things like that. Because I feel like this game lacks some really good tutorials, and this is where I decided to start. So we're going to cover just about all the screens. So start here on the first main screen. So when you get the game from Steam, which it is free, it's a free-to-play game. You'll come to here. You have to make a profile. Profile's pretty generic stuff. You add a bunch of stuff in here. Blah 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 blah. And most important thing right there is down here where it says metric. So if you want to use metric or if you want to use standard, this is where you do it. So you save your things. You got your settings here, which you will adjust for your computer. My computer handles it pretty well, so I got stuff set it like I want. Music is usually turned down because I find the music to be fairly loud. Things like that. Credits is the credits. Sign out, block, quit. Yeah. So I'm gonna return the game. So whenever you start the game, well, when you start the game up from new, you'll be on a screen like here. And I got lots of places unlocked, but you'll only have one place unlocked, which will be the Mudwater River down here in Missouri. You'll do a couple tutorials in there and such and all that good stuff. But when you want to go somewhere, you just click on the area and you hit travel. And you can set up to number 30 days. There's no reason not to just do it one day at a time, though. If you prepay and then you don't fish, you're still charged for it. So if you do, and at the end of the day, it asks you if you want to extend. So there's no reason not to just do it one day at a time. It tells you the weather for the following days, what they're going to be, the temperature. The temperature is kind of doesn't really matter so much yet, but the weather does matter because on cloudy days you'll catch more fish, but on sunny days you'll catch bigger fish. Then you have all your fish type for the area. This tells you your license status for those fish. I have an unlimited license for these fish, so I can get it, do anything. So, and then here's your travel. There's a travel cost associated with going to each spot. So right there it's 240, but say in California it's 450 credits. And then there's a cost per day. You can switch your home area. It costs a lot to do that though, a lot of money. I don't remember how much it costs, but it costs a lot. Credits brings us to a good point too. There's two types of money in this system right now, in this game right now. There is your gold credits, which you get by doing like achievements, catching unique fish. There's a daily reward, you can get a couple. And there's also the money credits, which you get for almost every other fish. And you also offer achievements, and you also get gold credits usually for leveling up too. Think of it as premium and standard. Now, you cannot buy the gold credits. You have to, you do get some in a couple DLC packs, but you don't get them, you can't buy them by themselves. You can buy these ones if you want, but to be honest, I've never bought them. I got some in a DLC pack, but I've made enough money, I've never had to worry about it. So yeah, this takes you back to that screen we were just at with the login settings. This tells you kind of your status of if you have a premium account or not. Premium accounts make more experience per fish they catch, 50% more. You can also buy it if you want. I got it right now because it's part of a DLC. It also tells you what level you're at. So I'm level 18 right now. This bar is your experience bar. Once it gets full up, you go up a level. Pretty easy. If you click on it, it takes you to the shop. It takes you directly to the premium shop, which lets you buy credits and premium time. The globe takes you back to the screen. The home takes you to your inventory that you're carrying on you at that time, or your inventory. So you have your backpack, which is your equipment that you have on you, and you also have your home inventory, which is everything else you have. As of right now, you cannot sell back items. You can trash them, but you can't sell them back. And that's what that trash icon means. Info will tell you information on it. You click on it, it expands it out. You see more information, tackles, lines. So all this stuff goes in these slots. So right now I have this park in there, this bag holder for my rods, tackle box, fish net or stringer. Here's your rod. Here's your number of rods. There's a hat slot. There's also a boot slot. Usually you get those as part of events, I think. At least I know hats. People get part of events. There's also a repair icon next to items. So as you use a lot of items, especially the outfits and stuff like that, there's some in rods and reels and outfits and stringers and stuff, the durability will wear down. As of right now, you can't see a number to tell you what the durability is, but you can click on the item, and it says, would you like to repair it? I'll hit yes, no big deal. There's 3 durability levels. There's a green level, which is great. There is a yellow level, which means you need to repair it. And then there's a red level, which means it's broken. Once it gets to the red level, it's broken. You can't do anything else with it. You pretty much just trash it. So, and then up here as well, you have your licenses, which tells you all the licenses you have. So if you have unlimited, they never expire. But usually it costs a lot more. So if you go back in one of these two, you see all the other icons here, which lets you filter your equipment. So I can filter it out. Here's just my rods and reels. Here's just my nothing, because I have nothing on none of those. Lines. Jig heads. Crankbaits, which I have it somewhere else, but bass jigs, spoons, baits, outfits and tools, and then your last one is a garage, which we don't not in effect yet. One they don't have on there too is there's also well, I guess outfits and tools. There's fireworks too, which I don't know why I'm carrying them, but I am. So that's about it for the inventory screen. You can also click on this button here to kind of expand out the things you're wearing. So it tells you kind of what each things is and what they're doing. The basket is your shop. So this is where you, and there's two shop modes. There's one which you're in the global screen, which has everything in it, the mega store, and there's one for each area. So when you go into like Missouri and you go to the shop, there'll be just a Missouri shop that has a very toned down version of what there is. So yeah, you got your rods. You can sort it by names, levels, prices. There's the net number to go to the tabs. You can search for a type or whatnot. You can also filter out through here. Usually the cost credits. Usually as well, there's always a premium rod, like this one right here. So level 8, you get a premium rod. I like to sort them by level. It's like there's one right here for 16. Now, you can buy the premium ones. It's great. I do recommend that you don't buy rods and reels and equipment with the gold. The only reason I say that is because if you have to repair it, you have to repair it with gold. So, especially at lower levels, don't buy them. Buy the ones with crits. They work just fine. You don't need to worry about it. Same thing with the reels. You also notice on here too, it gives you a bunch of stats on these things, like the ratio, recovery, drag, bearing, weight, all that blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Recovery is one of the ones you want to really look at. It's because it tells you how much it reels in, how fast. And so there are 2 types of reels right now in the game. There are your spinning reels and your casting reels. Rods, there's a couple types. There's spinning, telescopic, match, and casting. Telescopic and match you'll use for bobbers. Spinning and casting you'll use for lures. All your lines are located here, and there's a lot of them, and they're give you the weight and everything like that. At first thing you'll only be able to buy mono at first, till about level 3. Oh no, you don't buy the line. You can buy the line with that. You don't have to repair nothing. But when you get a chance to start getting braided line, get the braided line. Braided or floral, whatever. You get braided or floral. It lasts. That helps you get snags a lot easier. You're less likely to break when you have a snag. You might be able to force your way through it. Also, too, you usually fit more braided on a reel than mono. Then we have your tools and equipment, which you have landing nets and outfits right now. When you can upgrade them. Same thing. I would not spend the gold on them. Because you spend gold on it, you have to repair it. You have to repair it with gold, which some things can be very expensive. For example, the all-in-one sack will probably be about 15 gold to repair. I'm just guessing at that because I don't have it. But for example, this one right here costs 300 gold. It can hold 220 pounds of fish. It costs 86 gold to repair it. better off waiting until level 19, one more level, you can get almost exact same thing. In fact, it can hold a bigger fish. It has lower durability, but you repair it with credits then. Even better would be this one right here. 265 average durability, level 20. Was also repaired with credits. So those are all things to think of. You usually want to try to have one thing in each of your output things. So one tackle box, one vest, one rod holder. All that stuff is very, very useful and it will help you. In fact, I'm going to buy the Pentax. I didn't realize I could buy it yet, so I'm going to go and buy this. So now it's my home inventory. So I'll go here with my home inventory. Move that so I can do it. I'll take the Pentax and I'll move it there. Then voila, I got 2 more slots to put rods in, which is nice. Let's see if there's anything else I can get. So I already got the Big Brother bag, so that's as good as I can get for that. I can get the Wild Element, but I don't know if that's better than the Parka I have. The Parka's not on here, so it's hard to tell. So I'm going to leave it alone for now. Also in the store, you start having your tackle, your hooks, your bobbers, all that good stuff. Hooks are fairly explanatory, the same way they always are. Usually a bigger number means a smaller hook. So until you get to the /10s, then it works the opposite way. So bigger or smaller, bigger, 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 bigger. Then you get to number 1, then 1/0. Then it starts going up from there, and the hooks get bigger until you get to a 10. You got your bobbers, which bobbers right now they're about all the same. There's a couple of glow ones and stuff like that. It's really an aesthetic of which do you like, what color do you like, pretty much. Lures, you got all types of lures. You got jigs, spinner baits, bass jigs, crankbaits, and they all work differently in the game. So there they all are right there. Well, I'll do another tutorial later on showing you how to use some of these, but that's for now. That's where they're at. Baits are things you use on bobbers. So your bread, your red worms, your earthworms, night crawlers. Now it's okay to buy lures with gold, in my opinion, because usually you get a number of them, and usually you get like 5. Like here, I'll get 5 of them for 3 gold. I don't have to repair them. I can use them over and over again, and sometimes some of them you can use all over the place. Like for example, we'll go to spoons. This one right here, this casting spoon, 1/2 ounce, number 2. It's a great spoon. Works great. You'll use it in numerous places. So I would pick that up. Things like that. And then there's bigger ones and bigger ones. Like I'll probably pick this 3/01 because it would work great too. So yep. Then you have your licenses. How you buy your license is up to you. Like I'll just go to Missouri first because that's the first one you're going to buy. You can either buy the Unlimited or not. I would not buy an Unlimited Basic. It's not worth it. But Unlimited Advanced is always nice. Now you can do it one way. In these, it says 1 day. It means 1 day in real time, not in game time. So I usually buy a week at a time. It's usually not too bad. I buy 1 week. That way, if I'm fishing there for a week, I'm good to go. Now, price goes up per area, so we'll go to Alberta, which is the most expensive place. A week would cost 1,000 credits. But you know what? I'm probably going to make 1,000 credits in 1 day. Maybe for sure 2. If you buy 2 of them, because you notice when you look over here, it tells you what must be released, what must be kept, prohibited species, all that good stuff. So to go to Alberta and be able to fish for everything, you need to buy both of these licenses in order to keep everything you catch. If you don't want to catch salmon and you're not planning on keeping them, then just get the trout. It's up to you though. But unlimited licenses are nice because once you buy them, you don't have to worry about them again. Like right now, I'm in California. I bought a week of both of these, so it was $1,000, which I made in 2 days, and now everything I make after that is profit. Usually, you have to fish somewhere for about 3 days in-game time in order to really start making a good amount of profit to cover your travel costs and your license costs and things like that. You can get the 1 day for 100, you're still gonna make money off it. But then every day you fish there, you have to remember to buy a license. Because if you forget to buy a license and you keep a fish you're not supposed to, they usually fine you about 1,000 credits. So here is kind of an information screen. So it tells me my name, where I'm at right now, which I'm not actually, or where my home is, which is Missouri, my premium account status, you can buy premium, how long you've been playing, how many days you've been playing, your experience to level. That's kind of nice to see sometimes. Because they don't have a lot of tooltips in the game. They have some, but they don't have a lot of tooltips. At least not a lot of information on tooltips. How many fish, how many uniques, achievements, blah blah blah. There's no tournaments yet, but once they do that, you'll have those there. Achievements, achievements is where you're going to earn a lot of extra experience, gold, things like that. So, let's see. Angling machine. Well, it doesn't tell me because I've already completed all of them. Usually there's 3 levels to every achievement. Usually. So, unique gainer. If I catch, I don't know, 29 more, or not 29, 19 more fish, I'll get 100 extra experience just for free. So, and then also here has all your trophies. So here's all the biggest fish of each type you've caught. So I've caught a unique striped bass. And it's my biggest one at 41 pounds and blah 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 blah. That one has nothing yet for tournaments. Leaderboards. This is just kind of where you can look at stuff and kind of gloat and look at things. So it's got weekly experience. If you're in an area, it'll also be here so you can see who's made the most experience in that area you've been into. Right now I'm just on the global screen. So there's a guy that is level 28. Pretty high. Ridiculous amount of experience to get up that high though. Then you also have here, which you can filter these, which you can filter by 2 things. By the species and by the area. So we'll go, first step is, we'll go to Mudwater River. There we are. The biggest one was Taltos with a 97-pound alligator gar. But say I don't want to know about the alligator gar, say I want to know about the bass. Click on bass, and now it filters out for Mudwater River for all the biggest largemouth basses. Or panfish. There. You catch unique bluegills there. This is also a good way to find out what you can catch in some areas. So I know I can catch uniques there if I'm lucky. But if you pick something that's not there, like say I pick sturgeon. There's no sturgeon there, so nothing pops up. But there are sturgeon in St. Croix. And there's where they're at. Hopefully they'll do more filtering on this. It'd be nice. You can also click on yourself to see what your highest things are. So my biggest fish I've caught is a unique striped bass at 41 pounds. But I've also caught a trophy one too. And there they all. There's pretty much there's everything. I caught the 12 biggest fish I've caught, I guess, for over the last 7 days. All right, now we'll go to the next one, which they don't have yet. Hopefully they'll come in the next month or so. So here's your friends list. So you can do lots of things here. You can see who's online, where they're at, where they're fishing, that sort of thing. You can send them a gift, which the only gift you can send right now is fireworks. You can unfriend, all that good stuff. They don't have any avatar things in yet, but hopefully they will someday soon. You can find someone using an email name or whatnot. I'll just type in fish, because I'm sure there's lots of fish people. There you go. There's all the people there with the word fish in their name. You can request friendship with them if you want. There, reset it. Use your scroll to scroll down. Blah, 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 blah. I did ignore one person, and this is nice to unignore. I'm going to go ahead and unignore him. He was acting kind of ridiculous in chat, so I ignored him. The book is some tutorials, which they're they're okay. They work. But they're very basic, and especially the newer ones, they'll get you through, but hopefully you'll use YouTube video tutorials to figure out more stuff. Then there's there. So I'm going to go into an area so we can look at the UI when I'm actually in an area. I'm going to go back to California because that's where I'm fishing a lot lately. So I'm going to hit travel for one trip. It'll cost some money to do it, and here I am. This is your when you're in an area, this is the screen for that area. These little areas, we call them pegs usually, but it tells you where they're at. If someone's fishing there, like Dirt is fishing, my friend Dirt is fishing in this area, fishing the beaver is what it's called. You can click on there and it'll take you to the same room that guy's in, that person. So now you can fish in the same room as a friend of yours. He can see when you catch fish, you can see when he catches fish and such. A couple things you can do. So now I'm in this screen, but say I want to go back to that map screen, hit M. Take you back to the screen. A couple things to look at when you go to fish a spot too is the weather. Like I mentioned before, sunny usually catches bigger fish, or more likely to catch trophy fish and uniques, but you won't catch as much fish. But look at these peaks right here. This tells you the peak time for fishing. So right now it's about 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Be the best times to go fishing. You're gonna catch most fish then. Now sometimes with trophies and uniques, sometimes they have a time frame where you're gonna catch a lot more of them. It depends on the fish, but it's always good to know. You can find spreadsheets with those information on it. Click on the day, it looks different. So usually there's a cloudy day and there's a sunny day fishing peaks. So we'll go back. I'm actually gonna fish. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Is this the one I like, or is it this one? No, I think it's this one. So we'll go back in there. So to move, you use the standard WSAD. Actually, I don't like this one. I want to go to the other one. We'll go to this one, below the Crichton Dam. WSAD moves your character around. Whoop, my lure's going crazy there. So you get to spot you want, sit there. So a couple things on your screen. I'm gonna hopefully make that lure stop going crazy. So upper left, you have information as to the time, which is important. What day of your trip you're on, the temperature, if it's weather is. Then below that you have your stringer. So my stringer holds 220 pounds, so we're gonna have 0 on it. So this is kind of nice for a new player. F1. You hit F1, it brings up a view of a keyboard and mouse. It tells you what buttons do what. So I'm going to talk about most of this stuff, but here's where you can find it. Upper right corner, you have your lure that you're using. Whether it's a bait, whether it's a lure, it's right there. Your lower left, you have your chat. Now chat is not very intuitive. It can be a little tricky at times. To access it, you hit tab. Then it pops up and the cursor goes there and you start typing what you want. Type in whatever you want, hit enter, it goes in. To get out, you just hit tab again and it goes out of it. Another chat command is page up and page down. And that's your scroll. The only way to scroll is using page up and page down. That's how you do that. There's also a few commands. One is I think you hit / ignore and then the person's name and it puts them on your ignore list. So that's kind of useful too. But usually everyone's pretty nice. The community for Fishing Planet is very nice. Another useful thing for chat, say you don't want to see chat, hit the tilde button, gets rid of it. Hit the tilde button again, gets rid of everything else. So you just like you're fishing with nuts. It's like you're real fishing, no UI. Hit it one more time, it comes back up. So I'll get rid of that for now. So you can also use your mouse to turn your character. And say you're ready to go fishing. You got everything set to go. Oh yeah, bottom right corner. A couple things. The one bar tells you how hard you're casting, and your drag, and how hard the line's being pulled. It's kind of like just let you know. We'll use it more later on. The 0/492. It tells you how far your line is out. So I have 492 feet of line on my reel. Then you have your drag setting, which I have out of 6. I have it set to 3, and that's going to be usually what you want to keep it at. Usually you'll keep it at 3, and that's where it's going to work best. The arrows inside of it are how fast you're reeling in. So there's 3, 4, whatever, up to 4. I usually keep it around 2 for reeling in. It depends on what presentation you're doing, and I'm not going to go into that now. That'll be another tutorial, but that just tells you how fast you reel in. So we're going to go ahead and we'll cast out and catch a fish maybe. I'm using a crankbait, which is really easy. Also, on the bait thing, where it has that 1 in a circle, it tells you how many of that lure you have. So I have 1 silver crankbait. So I'm just going to cast out there. Which way you cast that, there's a couple ways to do it. Your left mouse button is your cast button. Your right mouse button is your aim button. So you can aim out like this if you want and then cast. But I like to do is I like to bring that up and then I can move my aiming my target reticle around. So you right mouse click, pick a spot, you can pick way out there, and then you hit your left mouse button and it starts going up. When it gets inside the gray bar, you click it again. See, I missed that time. So I didn't cast out very far. I miscast. But if I try again, I want to get a bigger bar so I can show you guys. Like that. Then it does that. Click on it once in the bar. You cast where you wanted to go. Crankbaits are easy. All you do is you just reel them in. Other lures have different presentations you use to lure more fish, but we're just going to make this easy. So just hold the left mouse button to reel in. You see when you also are reeling in, you have an indication of how deep your lure is. That's useful for different presentations as well. Not so much for this, but I'm just reeling in right now. Maybe we'll get a fish this time, maybe we won't. You see on the bar where it's kind of, the very bottom one is kind of blue. It means that the tension is low right now, and there's nothing going on. Looks like we may not get a fish on this one. That's fine. So I'm actually going to adjust the time. The way you do that is you hit T. Just press T, and you can adjust the time. So I'm going to go to 7 a.m., which I think is the peak time. Same thing. Cast it out. You'll notice usually every hour, if there's a thing that can change on the weather, it usually changes at the beginning of the hour. Like it just got less cloudy now. Still reeling in. Hopefully we'll catch one this time. I'm either going to catch a Chinook salmon or a striped bass. We'll see what we catch. Hopefully it won't be a big one, because a big striped bass takes a long time to reel in. You don't have to adjust your drag too much while you're fighting them. They're going to re-evaluate the drag system, but if you keep it at 3, usually you're pretty good. If you see, when you are reeling a fish in, if you see a red, looks like a red rod or a red reel, then you need to adjust your drag down. So I caught a fish. So the way I do it is I do two things. I'm going to get out some line. You reel in with the right mouse button, or sorry, left mouse button, and you add tension with the right. And the best way to catch a fish is to alternate. So you lift up to apply tension, and then you let go and reel the slack in. That makes it so the fish isn't constantly pulling the line and causing, because if the fish is always applying tension, you're either going to break your line or you might even break your rod. So by doing that, you apply a second of no tension on the line, so it resets it. It's just the best way to reel in. So alternate between applying tension and reeling in. So when you catch a fish, he brings them up here. And they get bigger based on if they're trophy or if they're unique. Like here's information: the weight of the fish, the length, how much experience you got. And I got an extra 75 experience because I have a premium account. Your experience bar here tells you how full you are. See it plus 50% because I'm premium, and your option to release or keep. Now, if I didn't have the license for this, it would say must be released, or if it could say must be kept, depending on what license you have and which fish you catch. I'm going to keep it. Release will get rid of it. Keep will keep it. Now, there's two types of stringers out there. There's the fish castles or fish nets. Then there's the regular stringers. Now, in a fish castle or fish net, you can release fish if you want to. But on a stringer, once it's on your stringer, it has to stay on your stringer. You can't let it go again. So keep that in mind. And that's how kind of to catch a fish and reel and everything like that. Now, the last thing I want to show you, if you want to see your inventory, you hit the I button. Now bring up your inventory. You notice there's no more home screen, so you can't go back to your house and pull out any other lines that you had. But you still can go to a store. But look, I'm at the San Joaquin Delta store, which has a very limited supply. It's got a couple things on here for you to buy and everything like that, but if I go to, say, the baits, There's a lot fewer baits. I only got corn, peas, and balls. And this for mostly for carp. To get back to it, I either go to the inventory or the map, and you hit the corresponding button. M for map, I for inventory, and it goes out. Now, one thing to remember: if you're hitting, all of a sudden you hit I and nothing happens, you probably got your chat window open. So I hit that, wouldn't work. So just hit tab to go out of it, I back into it, works just fine. Those are a lot of the basic controls. Hopefully I'll be doing a longer YouTube series more on maybe the catching the fish presentations, and hopefully doing some tutorials as well as the areas. But this should be enough to get you through the basics and set up for running the game. Thank you very much, and if you do like this tutorial, please follow my YouTube channel, and feel free to watch my channel on Steam, or on Twitch when I stream. I stream on Monday through Fridays usually, sometimes not on Fridays, but usually Monday through Thursday at the very least, from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Central Time. And I will include the stream link in the description of the tutorial. Thank you very much.